everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stay for Tea. I'm Afshan, and this is my little podcast where I have some familiar faces and also some not so familiar faces join me here on the sofa talking all things life. So wherever you're listening from, wherever you're watching from, come join me and stay for tea. On today's episode, I have someone very, very special to me. Not only is she an actress, a filmmaker, an author, an environmental advocate, and hosts her own podcast, but to me, she's one of my oldest friends for which I've just figured out, over 20 years. I know. Many of you will know her as Ginny Weasley, but to me, she's my bonbalicious bonbon. Everyone is Bonnie Wright! Woo! Hello.
Wow, 20 years. That is
More than 20 years, actually.
Wow.
Because if I'm right, I was what, 16, 17 when I started Potter?
Yeah.
So you would have been what?
So I would have been like 13, 14?
Stop.
A mere baby.
We were babies.
Yeah, we were.
And now we're having babies.
Thought we were
and now we were
grown up.
having babies.
I know.
So now I've had a baby. Oh, you are glowing, my love.
Thanks. I don't know if I feel glowing.
If
but
you're
I'm
watching
gonna...
or you know, Bonnie's pregnant. How far are you pregnant?
I'm like 6 months, I guess. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
Thank you for being here.
You are so welcome. I'm so excited to dive into our life.
Yeah, if I was going to have one person, I knew who I had to have first, like on my pod from Potter. I was like, not only obviously we're co-workers, as it were, but it wasn't work, was it? It was just friends going to set. Yeah. But I cannot believe it's been so long. And here we are.
Here we are.
I've got my own little podcast.
I love it.
Wait, do you think we're still the same, by the way?
Well, I feel like, you see people that you haven't seen in ages and you just like slip back into the same level of humor or the same thing. Like that's what friendship,
I think
long friendship
we've
is.
never changed. Like literally it's been a year, I'll say, that we've not seen each other. But when we do, it's literally like,
yeah,
you've been, and now you live in the States.
Yes, I do.
How is that?
Yeah, I've lived there a while now. So yeah.
How long has it been?
I guess, yeah, on and off for like 8 years, something like that.
Wow.
I know.
I can't believe you left me.
I know. I left you.
And you've had babies there and you got married there.
With American accents. What are we going to do?
At least you've not got a twang, or do you? We'll find out.
Sometimes I do, and I hear it, and I'm like, oh.
No, don't do that.
I know.
Don't do that.
Just got to come back to London for a bit and be back with my parents, often, and then I'm fine.
And every time you're down, I'm literally like, hello, meet up.
Yes.
And it's great because a lot of people that do live abroad or away from their friends and family, at least we make the effort. You're one of the friends that does make the effort. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like as well you have, like when I'd come back on my own, you could just do like 1,000,001 things.
Yeah.
And now coming back like this trip, I'm just here with my son Elio, and like it's a lot harder to do 1,000,000 things in one day because you're on their schedule.
That goes for everything in life. Yeah, that goes for everything in life.
But it's also fun because then you see people having their family, and then you can like you share those mutual.
And the kids can play now, and you can just like be like, go and play and let off. How is it with the transition with you now living in the States? Obviously you've been there long enough now, but like, do you miss your family? Do you miss your friends, or you like you've got your village out there now?
Yeah, no, I definitely miss my family and friends, and just like, I guess just the city you grew up in is always like
what do you miss about London that the States doesn't have?
I guess for me, London is, well, I don't know, there's just so much happening. I felt like I was always so lucky as a young person or a child where you could step outside your house and there were museums to go to, people to watch.
Especially
like,
in London, yeah.
Just real, culture right there, and just like character that is not so easily found in like where I live. I don't live at all in like a major... Like I live close to a big city, but I really live in basically a small town, which is also lovely because obviously I've chosen that to be the complete opposite of London. Like we are like fully immersed in nature. It's a very different lifestyle. Bubble. Yeah, but when I come back to London, I'm like, oh yeah, I am like a city girl.
Do you think you're still a city girl?
Yeah, because
where I lived in Manchester and it's such a city.
Yeah.
Now where I live, it's literally in the Shire. Like it's not a city whatsoever. All them years where I said that I want to live in London, and you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna move."
Yeah.
Now, when I go to London, I'm so overwhelmed, and I don't know whether this is post kids or like I'm overstimulated for them and myself. But when I go back home, I'm like,
I also think when you visit somewhere, you're like doing lots of things,
Yeah.
so you become more stimulated. But if you
Yes.
lived there, like that wouldn't be your day-to-day life.
What does
I often
Elio
try and
think
remind myself.
of London?
I mean, I think he's such a like in that real curious, asking a million and one questions
Because
every
how old
5
is he
seconds.
now?
He'll be 3 in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just in that like, what's this and what's that and how does
Yeah.
that work and da da da. So I think a city has so much to like offer and
Yeah.
see for him. But yeah, so different to the day-to-day life he usually has.
Oh yeah, but I guess when he's in London, he's always busy with
Yeah,
family.
exactly. And also we're here just to see family. So also
Yeah.
so much of our time is just
Yeah.
spent like at home too when we're here.
Yeah. I'm just so excited to have you on because everyone sees you on social media, in films, you're directing, but I want to get to know you. I mean, I know so much about you, and I find actually having people on this podcast that I know a lot harder to interview because I'm like, oh, I know that and I know that, but I'm like, I want to show everyone.
Hopefully you
And
find
we
out
wanna
some
know
new
you.
things.
Yeah. Because I don't know whether, well, no one will know, but I'm actually an adopted sibling of yours because I've adopted your mum and dad a long time ago.
Are your parents.
Your parents aren't even aware. I mean, they are aware because I forced myself to be a Wright sibling. Your mum and dad, Gary and Sheila, obviously they have their successful jewelry brand, which I love. And every time I'm with them, I'm like, I just pretend I'm their daughter, to be honest. Because let's be honest.
Love it. I needed a sister.
Lewis is my big brother.
Love it.
We've got our little barge, our bargy.
Yes. The restaurant's still waiting to happen.
So yeah, you were like the closest to me on set, like even now from there. But tell me about your childhood. Like Gary and Sheila, they are the coolest parents that I've ever met. Even to this day, they are the coolest probably grandparents to Elio. But did you always know that you wanted to be an actor or like a director? Like when you were little, what did you want to be when you were younger?
Well, I feel like obviously, I mean, the first acting job or whatever I ever had was obviously in Harry Potter.
Yeah,
and I was only
you were like
9 years old. So I don't think at that point I really had thought about my career.
But your parents had their jewelry brand when you were younger, right?
Yeah.
So did you think you were going to go into that?
I guess for me, I always thought I would go into some sort of creative something. Like I feel like as a family, we all have done, something in that creative like expression. But I don't think I really knew like what that was when I was young. I definitely was one of those kids who, like many kids, like every day it's a new dream. You're like, oh, I want to do this and I want
be an
to do
astronaut.
that. And like, and I feel like I grew up in a family environment where I felt like I could be those things. I felt like that was instilled that like you could the world's your oyster. And I think the biggest thing that kind of like helped me maybe get the role in Harry Potter or maybe enjoy it was I was always that kid who just loved taking part. Like I loved to be part of something that was bigger than myself. Like whether that was at school, joining all the extra classes and the sports things, or I just loved showing up and just like giving it a go. And I think that's probably what gave me the confidence to give an audition a go, knowing that it was
by the
just
way,
fun.
I'm sure I read this recently when I was doing I can't believe I didn't do any research on you, but I read, was it Lewis that read the books and then said, oh, by the way, when I think of Ginny, I've never heard that.
Yeah. So so my brother Lewis had read the first 2 books, I think, at that point, maybe. Right. And then it became like common knowledge that they were like making these books into films. And he very specifically was like, you need to audition for the role of Ginny Weasley. And I was like, don't know who that is. But
you were like 8, 9.
Yeah.
But did your parents not allow that, because obviously you were a child then, but to take on that path, because Lewis isn't in this industry, blah blah blah. But
I mean, I guess for my parents, they just really didn't know.
They were like
all of us didn't know. I mean, they definitely had to like think about it. It's a massive decision for like any parent.
Yeah.
But I guess for so many of us, like we just didn't know the scale that it was going to become.
Yeah. But if I asked like Gary and Sheila, what were you like as a kid? What do you think they'd say?
I don't know.
What would they say? And also, what would Lewis say as you being their sister?
He'd like, she was annoying. No, I definitely
you're all
was
very
like
close.
Trying to be all. Yeah, and I guess Lewis and I were like 3.5 years apart, so I feel like he very much had. There was a stage where his friends were very separate to mine. Like I wouldn't say they're like overlapped. So I think it was always like I was probably being that annoying young sister that just wanted to be like, can I hang out with you? And like, can you go make your own friends and do your own thing?
He still says that now.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I guess I was just, my parents would just say I was like eager, passionate. I don't know.
You were a good child though.
Obviously, I was an angel.
Actually, I actually believe that.
I don't know. It's funny when you look at your own child and you think, oh gosh, I must have
Do
been
they
like
say
this.
anything when they see Elio now?
I think they say that Elio is really similar to Lewis.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
So I'm like, oh, you were
Oh,
different.
no.
You were intense. You were a lot, Lewis. And he's like,
I bet you're
obviously
like,
I was.
what's to come?
I know,
Oh,
gosh.
no. And he's only
So
3.
you mean my child is going to be sweet like me?
Yeah. But do you think that you are, like, obviously having Elio now, who's 3, that you're a similar mum to your mum now? Because I catch myself and I'm like, oh my God, I'm turning into my mother. Like, what the hell? Do you think you are similar to your mum?
Yeah, I think so. But yes and no, I would say. I would say for me, like what I love parenting, like the part of parenting I love in this moment, especially in the toddler phase, is I just love, obviously, it would make sense for like the acting and the storytelling and creative background, but I just love all the imagination and the play side of things.
Yeah.
Like, so I definitely think that kind of like make-believe storytelling play, like I love that. Like that comes to me more naturally, I would
Is
say,
his imagination
than
wild?
like newborn time.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, and just seeing that come alive is really exciting.
And also, I feel like this age they can talk to you and talk back, and
Yeah,
like
and you have this
get to
little person
understand.
suddenly,
You have
yeah,
your mini person
who
that
like
is-
remembers things you've spoken about before and like,
Yes.
you know, recalls things, and you're
Yes.
like, oh wow, this is like a long ongoing, you know, start of a massive relationship.
How do you think being a mum has changed you though? In what ways do you think it's changed you, apart from, you know, the sleepless nights and that you just agitated? I'm just like angry all the time, I feel. But
I guess you just like feel really like stripped back. I guess you just feel very like vulnerable in a good way, because you kind of like have to just
you
let
sacrifice.
go of things and sacrifice stuff that would have been previously important to you in like the most simplest things of just like not being as picky because you just will have anything. Like I literally described it as like you go to a restaurant, before I'd be like, I want to look at the menu, see what I want to eat, decide. Now
It's
I'm
the
like, just
little
feed me, I just
things.
don't care. Like
It's the
feed me
little
anything.
yeah, it's the little things I've noticed after motherhood where you never had to think about before, but now you're
now,
like,
yeah. And I guess the other side of things, like in a like there's so many mundane moments of parenting that can just feel like, here we are playing the same thing we've done 100 times. But then the beauty of that, I think, it makes you be the most present I've ever been, really. I feel like you're forced not to look at your phone or think about what's next or worry about your to-do list or, oh, I've got to do this. Like, you just have to be with them. And when you're with them, they're so much easier. Like their temperament is so much easier when you give like all of yourself to them in that moment. And I feel like
How
the
do you
minute
let
we
go,
easily
though?
distract ourselves, they
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah.
And then they become really difficult. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
that's my fault, you know?
Because I suffer with that. I feel like I've got my to-do list in my head every day, which stops me from being the best
Yeah.
parent because I'm so stressed with the fact
It's
that
just
I've
the
got to do this.
reality of you need to do all those things too. Like we like need to do them. So
That's
like,
where my
of course we're
husband
going to be thinking about it.
into use. And I'm
Yeah.
like, can you just take that?
Yes,
I
it's
just
handy.
But the thing is, he thinks taking the kids out is doing me a favor, but actually it's just me having the time to do the washing and the cleaning. Like,
yeah.
when you're out taking the kids out, I'm not relaxing.
No,
I'm
not
doing work.
Yeah.
So when he's
It's like,
bought
I'd love to sit and read
yeah,
a book or
when he
do
comes
something.
back, he's like, "Oh, you had a good day." I'm like, "No, I'm
No.
sweating. I've been doing the cleaning. Like, you think I've been playing here? Like, no." So many things surprise me of these kids. And like,
Yeah.
has he ever said anything like really funny to you or really like, cute that you're like, "Oh my God, I love you so much"? Like,
I love it
'cause
all the
there's so
time, you
many
know, and
moments.
or like you'll say like a phrase that doesn't like, you
Doesn't
know, and
make
they
sense.
doesn't make
Yeah.
sense, or they take it as like literal and they think, and you're like, oh no, it's like a saying, and they just
Yeah.
don't get it, or
Because
just
Kyra
like as
asked
they
me,
understand the language.
yeah,
more and
Kyra
more.
asked me recently, "Mummy, what does caught the sun mean? How can someone catch the sun?"
I love it.
And then she took it literally.
Yeah,
and it was just the most naive, like, pure thing.
Just so
and like,
cute.
it's just the cutest thing, isn't it?
Or when they'll ask these why, and you're like, you know what, I don't know.
I
It's
don't
just
know.
how life is. Okay, that's just got to accept it.
Your daughter, your son asked you that. Why? My daughter asked me the other day, "Mum, you know Mercury's like closest to the sun. Why is it not super hot then? Why is Venus the hottest planet?"
You're like, oh, I can't.
Kyra's a solar system obsessed, like, girl, and she asks me questions about the solar system. I'm literally like stumped.
I know, and you're like, I'm
no
learning here.
I said, I genuinely didn't even know all the planets
Yeah.
before you were born. You've
Yeah.
taught me so much. So yeah, that's that.
It's also so interesting what they randomly get attracted to be into.
Yeah.
Like, you have no
I have no desire for the
control
solar
over
system.
that.
How
Yeah.
have
You're
you
like,
now
how
become
did this?
obsessed with
Yeah,
it?
I love it.
She's met you, and like she taught you a
I
few
literally
things.
feel like when I had a memory of like 3 years ago when I was pregnant with Elio. I guess how old she must have been 2, and she was like into the solar
Less
system because
than.
that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
She was like already had her planets up on the wall.
Yep.
She was
telling you
ready.
every
Yeah.
single. Andrew was like, what? What
It's
is
like,
this?
okay, back to school.
Yeah, I know. I've just learned so much from my kids. I'm sure you have too. Obviously you're pregnant again.
Yes.
Baby number 2. You don't know what you're having.
No,
You're keeping it a
yeah.
secret. I'm always so shocked with people that keep
I
it a
know.
secret.
It was so easy to not find out with the first
Really?
child.
Oh, the first child.
First child. So
Yeah.
easy because you have no context and
Yeah.
you're like, whatever, who,
Yeah.
you know, whatever child. And this time, having had, you know, you have a son. So you're like, okay, well, I know that sort of dynamic. Obviously, every
Yeah.
child is different. And they're kind of stepping into an existing dynamic. So you're like, what's it going to be? And also for Elio, he, you know, I'll say to him, oh, we don't know, you know, if it's
Has
boy
he
or
said
girl.
what he wants? Like,
He'll sometimes randomly say she and then he and then, so he kind of gets
Yeah.
that. So just
Are you doing
three
anything?
more months to find
I
out.
know. Are you doing anything differently this time around? Or
I feel like I had the intention to, but didn't do anything differently.
but are you more
I feel
prepared?
like you start from a way more tired place, first of all.
Yeah.
So like physically, no matter what you do, the pregnancy, well, I don't know. This pregnancy has been so much harder than Elio. Like
Has
Elio
it?
must have just been a breeze, or my body was like in a more
Really?
better space.
I thought sometimes like on the second time you're more relaxed, like you know what's coming.
Well, that's amazing. That I love. Like the knowing. Like, okay, I've given birth. Like I get the stages. Like I get what's kind of deemed normal or whatever in your, you know, symptoms, and I know what to expect when we get to like, you know, labor. So that's really nice because that. But then it also means the novelty is not there because you're like, oh, I've done this.
I know. But let me tell you, the second child, if you have a second child like mine, I've mentioned this on the podcast before, they're feral born. They're wild.
I'm like, if
you think
Elio's
you're
already feels
first,
feral to me.
There's the second child syndrome where you literally look at them and you're like, whoa, I pray that doesn't happen for you. And I'm sure it will. But also the second time round, I feel like you know what's coming a lot more easily. So
yeah, for sure. Oh, also you can
parent.
be maybe a bit more like enjoy those moments.
Yes,
because I feel like
it.
I was so overwhelmed with that newborn time. What I did constantly sometimes like wish he was almost like older and thinking it was going to be easier. But then you're like, I don't think it's any easier.
You wish away the years, and
so
just
now
shouldn't.
I'm just like, oh, can't wait for those newborn snuggles.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god, there's newborn scrunch. So we said that we knew each other 20 odd something years, right? Obviously we're now mums.
Yes.
If I told myself back then that we'd both be mums like from 20 years, we're like, what the hell, we're both married mums. We've literally been through so many stages of life together that when I was talking to my husband yesterday about you coming on, he was like, if you knew her when you were 17, she's one of the oldest friends that you have. And it dawned on me that actually you actually are. I don't think I've got a friend that I knew prior to you.
Yeah. I mean, that's like full, like, school days.
Like, you know stuff about me that I've blacked out from my mind.
I can bring it all back.
No, let's not. I don't know about you, but my memory is so bad. I don't know whether it's, people say it's baby brain, but it's been
people recall things and you're like, we did that?
Yeah, my memory is so bad. But do you remember the first time that we met? Because I don't. I know it must have obviously been either
could it have been
in
just
the corridors?
The read-through of the first?
Yeah, but I don't even think I like fully.
Yeah, you don't really like talk to each other then.
Like,
I mean, I'm sure it was just like in the corridors of all the dressing rooms at Leavesden Studios, just like, or just when we were on set. I don't know. I mean, I guess there was in that film, like in The Goblet of Fire, there's so many big scenes.
And there were so many new characters as well.
So many new people came in that film, which was what was so exciting about that film. It was this like big injection of like people.
People were coming.
I also was like, yay, some more girls, because it was such a male heavy. Like,
it was just you and Emma,
really, literally. And then like I was like, yay.
Hi, I'm here.
Anyone? I was like, I love my Weasley brothers, but I would love to chat to some gals.
Oh yeah, because my husband said to me yesterday, "But you and Bonnie are so different." I said, "That's what you think."
Yeah,
that's what you. He was like, "No, are you not doing?" I said, "We probably are, but it's not like." She gets me. I don't have to be anyone else but me. And that northern brash person that I am, you just accepted me, you know, on the sets and stuff.
I also feel like we just had this similar like humor. I think that's what it was. Like when days could be long on set and you like were kind of running out of ideas to like keep yourself awake.
We were just running around.
We would just be like hysterical. I think we were just a bit like teenage.
How lucky were we that social media didn't exist then?
Oh, I know. I think that all the time.
Don't you think that?
I literally. I mean, it was so old school traditional. Really, how the promotion of those films, like literally, you only really stepped out and did anything when the film came out.
Yeah.
Other than that, we were just like in a bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got so excited that after we days of filming, we'd go out for dinner. We'd go for masaba tide. Remember that? When we
Yeah, I
used to go
know.
there? That used to be our
Our
go-to place.
Go
Calamari.
to like go to Selfridges. What else we do?
Who did we think we are? We were like 18.
Living in London.
We were 18. I mean, I was living up in London. I was like, obviously, Warner Brothers put us up in a place, and we were there, and we'd have you guys come over to our apartment because me and Katie and Shafali were living
in
and
the same
Ivano
building,
eventually in the same. What a time to be alive.
I know.
With no social media, because I said recently that, you know, with the new Harry Potter coming out.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for them. I feel
It's
bad
a
for
lot
them.
to take on. Because also, what do you do? Do you not do it? Or do you still have one?
Yeah. But also, the comparison that's going to happen with these guys.
Which I guess also just as any young person right now.
I feel bad for them. I hope that they're supported. And like,
Yeah.
social media is so toxic sometimes that I
Also,
just
at
hope
that
that
age,
they.
I mean, I don't feel like
Yes.
anyone
I
at that
know.
age should be on it. I mean,
I
aren't they
know.
starting the ban here in the UK? The 16-year-old thing.
The
like
what?
they did in
Yes.
Australia.
So
Yeah.
what do you think about that, by the way?
I honestly think it's good. I don't think it's going to be an overnight change because people are going to find their ways around it.
I think they
like
already
teenagers have figured it out.
I
Like
think
they
they
have in
already have.
Australia, you know.
Yeah.
But it has to start somewhere. Like because like in the same way laws passing like that we never would have imagined. Like you can't smoke inside anymore. And people are like, no way.
Well,
that's
now,
never
can
gonna
you
happen.
imagine it,
Now,
though?
you couldn't imagine
I said
smoking
that
it,
the other
seeing someone and be
day.
like, what are you doing?
Yes.
So
Can you imagine someone just rolling
yeah.
up a fag next to you in the
So
restaurant?
I feel like that's good. Like that's how
Things start.
society
But
culture
also, is it going to
changes.
go ahead with the whole Prime Minister not being a Prime Minister anymore? Is it still
Oh,
going
what,
ahead?
that law? Well, yeah, it'd be beyond
Is it still?
just them, I think.
I don't know how it works.
But yeah, I do think it's just a shift to know like, okay, guys, we're beginning to see that this isn't really healthy for young people to be online when you're already going through massive changes of self and comparing yourself to others.
Yeah.
That's why like I'm so pleased that we didn't have that. Because
And it was just authentic. Like we just enjoyed each other's company. Like, can you imagine in the green room if we had social media? We'd be on our phones.
Oh my gosh,
like,
yeah. And it would
in our
just breed this like
dressing room.
competitiveness or something.
And
I
it was
think.
always me and you running around, like getting everyone else to like go in the green room and like just mess around, have fun. I actually can't remember. I don't have a. What did we do? Genuinely,
well,
what did
we
do?
also had to do some schooling. At
Oh
times.
yeah, apart from that.
apart from that.
Do you remember Peter?
Gosh, I don't know. Yeah, all those like classes that we had to do.
Peter
I mean,
still
like, I feel
alive?
sorry for like, I don't know.
Is Peter still alive?
Oh gosh, I hope
We used
so.
to have a science teacher.
Science teacher, yeah.
Peter and his wife, was it Carol?
Yeah,
No,
what's
I
her
don't know
name?
who it was.
No, I forgot her name.
Peter, if you're alive, holler at me because we worry about you. Sometimes I think about you. And I'm so sorry for everything I ever did to you. Like in the class, I was so horrendous. Remember we said
Also, I feel like we'd come off set like so
High.
high on life and
Janet.
everything, adrenaline, and it'd be
Janet.
like, okay, guys, you got to calm down and do your school, and you're like, why? We were just having so much fun, and now we've got to focus on science.
I remember when they used to come on set and be like, right, kids, school time. We were like, oh,
no. And
we're
you
not
walk
here.
really slowly back. Like, just if I walk slower, I'll cut like 5 minutes
Janet?
off. Yeah, she kept us in shape.
We had a head teacher, guys. On set, we had, I don't know, maybe we should explain what happened. So on set, because we were of age where we had to have schooling, we had to go to school on set. So we'd film for a certain amount of time and then they would call us into our makeshift classrooms. So were we ever in class together though? Because we were in different years.
Yeah, but I think
they
you
would
just
like
be
give
crossing
different
over
work.
randomly.
Yeah.
So you'd be like in the same room, but the teacher would be helping you do different work.
I mean, did we ever actually work though? I mean,
Yeah,
I did.
work.
I got my GCSE.
Yeah, like we
it
did
was great because we had one-to-one tuition. So I actually passed like my GCSEs and my teachers back at school were like, how have you even passed? I was like, I had one-to-one tuition on set. That's how I passed. Did you go on to uni?
Yeah.
You did your degree?
Yeah, so I went to film school technically, so I did like directing and writing.
Is that when you decided that you wanted to dabble in the directing?
Yeah, I think for me, like the biggest lesson I learned or the biggest thing I got exposed to like while filming Harry Potter was just the whole breadth of filmmaking. And I just so fell in love with really what was happening behind the camera. Like I was so... I mean, 10 years of doing that is also like a lot. Like I was very excited to just be doing the more... I don't know, I feel like acting is such a tiny piece. Like you come on, you do your bit and you leave and like the whole rest of the story is like out of your control kind of thing. And I was just so much more interested in how the story began and how they like build these amazing worlds and film things.
Is there anything that you want to do like directing wise? Is there like an idea that you have that you're literally like, that's my goal. I want to Because
I
you want to do
guess.
like the big budget stuff or like a big
Yeah,
production.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
But-
I mean, obviously, you start with something like Harry Potter, and you see this incredible scale.
And obviously, well, you've
And it
gone from
is-
that to
I know, back
you've-
to front, and you go to school and go to film school, but I think it was good to do that too, to like go
experience
back
as
to the
well.
basics. Yeah, I mean, I think there is nothing more like palpable, that energy being on a big set like Harry Potter. Like
Yeah.
it is amazing, and when you've tasted that, I think it is something that's like you want to go back to that.
The thing is, though, with that, like, obviously, I'd never acted before Harry Potter. You've never. Did you? You did act before Harry Potter, no?
No.
No, Harry Potter was your first job. Yeah,
Mhm.
same. So it was the opposite for me because I'd been on such a big production.
Yeah,
The thought of going back to basics, I was like, no.
no, I'm okay.
I'm okay. I don't want to start from scratch. I've done the best.
Yeah.
But like to be an actor, to be a good actor, I feel, or to be a good director, you've got to start back from the basics to learn. Because we were thrown in the deep end with
Yeah.
such a big film that doing something smaller kind of makes you a better actor or a director.
Yeah, or it just shows you there's a million ways to make a film.
Yeah.
There's a million ways to direct. There's a million ways to produce and
Are you doing
budget a
anything coming
film.
up? Have you got anything?
So really, I mean, I would say the last like quite a few years, a lot of my focus has been on, well, I guess I'll do the odd directing thing, like a friend's music video or something like that. But really, I think I've realized that I'm better at kind of building ideas through different kind of storytelling sometimes. I mean, I guess the only project I'm working on right now that could potentially cross back over into the film industry is this story that I started literally writing like 8 years ago as a script, and then I never really finished it. Well, I finished it, but I never like kind of did anything with it. And then a couple of years ago, before I wrote my first book, Go Gently, I was like, oh, maybe I should write this script as a book, as a novel, and maybe it would be an easier route to make it into a film or a TV show if I've created this kind of story already. But then I kind of like put that on a back shelf while I wrote my other book, and then now I'm finally beginning to like write this book again. And so my hope and dream is that one day I get to not necessarily need to direct it myself at all, like I don't really want to, but at least get the story out there in a visual way beyond the novel. So yeah, that's I guess maybe my calling back to more traditional large scale filmmaking, whereas up till now a lot of what I've done has just been small kind of short films, music videos, that kind of thing.
But I love that. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
But the music videos have been great.
Thanks.
You did Gillian's music video, didn't
Yeah.
you? And that was amazing. I love that one. So we were talking about Harry Potter as meeting on Harry Potter. I don't think anyone knows, or I don't think we've ever discussed it, but we actually had a joint birthday party.
I know. I remember it so well.
I don't-
Even though we can't remember what age we were.
I don't know. What age were we? Like yesterday, I was
must
having
have been,
flashbacks
like-
in my mind, and I was saying to my husband, like, oh my God, we had a joint birthday party. He was like, what?
I literally, like, I remember visually, like, I remember where we were sat.
When I
at the
tell you,
birthday
me and Bonnie
party.
were close. We were very close. We had one cake. I've got
We
that picture of us
shared it,
blowing the
yeah.
candles. We had it at
I think
Soho
we
House.
must have been like 16.
No,
No, earlier than that? Yeah, later than that.
maybe I was 19. Yeah, maybe 19, which means that you were 16.
Yeah.
I think it must have been your big birthday because I feel like I tagged along to that birthday party. But we had all our friends at Soho House. It was amazing. We had a bowling. Did we have a bowling alley in there?
Yes,
in
there
that
was
room.
a bowling alley, yeah.
But obviously, where I've not come from, like, I'd never lived in London, I never stayed. Like, to have a birthday party with all our friends, it was like, we had the best years of our life. And I
know,
still
it
say
was
this
so
to this
fun.
day. So much fun. But what were you going to say? You just laughed.
No, I was going to say that we were also so, like, the people that got things organized. We're like, okay, everyone, you're coming out. Like, the two of us would be like these little ringleaders. We're like, okay, we're having a birthday and you're all coming.
We were the ringleaders
Yeah,
of
we
like a night
definitely-
out, a day out. Anytime we were leaving after work, I'd like arrange it with transport. Like,
We're
by
like,
the
see an
way,
opportunity and be like, we need to plan something.
we need to plan
Yeah.
something. Can we go back there?
Can we just...
Can we go back? I don't
What
like all this
year was that?
responsibility.
It's like all that, like, flat... What? Oh, I guess it would have been like 2010? No. Something
know.
like that.
But the thing
Wild.
is, obviously, I started in Goblet of Fire, so you would have been in all of them prior to that. But I'm sure you'll agree, it wasn't as fun as when.
I
Goblet
mean,
of
you
Fire
know, my life
started.
began when you stepped on set.
Obviously, that's what I want to hear. Say it again. Say it
The rest
again.
was just a mere memory.
It's just funny because where we started and there were so many new characters that
Yeah.
came in and Katie came, blah, blah, blah. To go out after work, to go for like a simple meal after work, it was like 10 cars taking us
Oh
all
yeah, like a
into
lot of
central
us, yeah.
London.
I feel like that film, and also ironically, like that film is all about sort of social life. Like it, like
Yeah.
literally was this mirrored moment of like
Nobody know,
everyone's
like,
asking people to prom vibe of the
yeah.
Yule
It wasn't like
Ball
that
and
on set, was it?
everything. And no, but I just mean that's what those kids are
We
going
grew
through.
up.
They're like having this like, oh, people like me, people don't like me. You know, that's why that.
Did we have that on set?
And I feel obviously everyone liked us, but
I mean,
I
when
just
I
mean
came
suddenly
in,
we were like, you know, social
yeah,
basically.
you had the most social
Yeah.
aspect. We went to Reading Festival together.
We did.
I'm having flashbacks, guys. My memory is so bad that I'm just sat here like, oh my god, you went
Yes.
to my first festival. And I remember like I was like, my parents aren't going to allow me to go. Bonnie, can you ring my dad? Can you get your parents to ask my dad? And then like, if the parents asked, then it would be like, okay, fine, you can go. And when he was like, yeah, you can go, I was like,
Yes, let's go.
we were tenting in Reading Festival. It was like,
We need to find some photos of that.
no, we don't need
We-
to. Find them.
we
I actually have
do.
them.
You do.
I have
Please,
them.
we need
I've
to
saved
dig them
everything
up.
on my old like iPod.
Oh
but
my
then
God, I love
got it
it.
backed up.
Yeah.
And we went with James and Oliver and Katie,
Yeah.
wasn't it? All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us that went. What a time.
What a time.
What other memories do you have? Because please, like, my memory is really bad. Do you remember anything on set that was hilarious that the fans will want to know?
They will want to know. I just feel like all my memories are like what I was saying before, just us hysterically like giggling.
Like, what was
and
your
not
favourite
being...
scenes to film?
Well, I guess we also had all the, do you remember all the room of requirement scenes?
Yes.
That was honestly
That we were burning
not
in
the
hell.
best set. It was like this reflective hot box of
We were burning in
mirrors.
hell because it was in the midst of the summer and we had jumpers on and like, our uniform,
and it was all like
uniform.
smoky and hot and like all those mirrors. But I
Yeah.
feel like that film particularly I really love too, because I feel like they were much smaller scenes. Like the Goblet of Fire was like big scenes,
Yeah.
where those kind of Dumbledore's army scenes were like 20 of us. And I just feel like we had so many good moments on
Yeah,
those.
and we were together
Yeah.
then. My scenes were like the Great Hall scenes. I just loved being in the
Yeah,
Great
so
Hall and
special.
like just being all together because you knew like everyone was on set then and like offset the amount of food that was offset, the catering team and all of that, and like it was just the funnest scenes to film, I feel.
Yeah,
Like,
the energy of
and the
like, so
lunch
many
times.
people and the chaos of the
The
lunchtime.
lunch times, the chaos, like
I
we'd
feel
all
like you were meant to like rest during lunch, but we never did. We just like burnt so much energy and were like
That's
running
how it
around
should
hysterical. No, for
be.
sure. And then you'd be like, okay, got to
Have
muster
you-
the energy to
I
stay
know,
here till 6.
you filmed the Wizarding baking show.
Oh
that
yeah,
I
yeah,
filmed,
yes.
'cause
I
did
remember when
season
you called
2.
me about it.
I did season 2.
You were like,
was a
I'm
guest
going to
judge.
season 2. Like, what was
Yes,
it like?
I know. I had to ring you. So yeah, we did this baking wizarding show with James and Oliver as the host back at the studios. What was it like for you going back to the studios? Because I have my own personal like thoughts whenever I go back. But for you, when you go back to the studios, what do you feel?
Yeah, that time, I guess like the time. So there was the time for the Wizards of Baking, and then the previous time before that was like the HBO reunion
yeah.
thing. That one
Which
was
I didn't get invited to.
almost. They missed
Have
out.
a word.
I will.
They really missed out without having me there.
But that one was almost weirder because it had been so long.
Yeah.
So that one was like, and all like so many of us were back filming for that. And it was so bizarre. And I think also, whilst they're all the sets that you filmed on,
They're not.
they've obviously changed them into an exhibition, essentially.
I don't like the fact they're an exhibition.
I guess, yeah,
because
yeah.
it's like got like red tape that you can't pass. And
But imagine if everyone picked up every prop,
know.
and they would be like
But
nothing
things
left.
that we took for granted, like we'd sit on that chair every day, or like the makeup team, like we'd cause chaos in the makeup rooms, and like we were there, blah blah, with all the girls and stuff. But like the fact that it's all behind red tape, I'm like, it's like a museum.
Yeah, and it's like lit differently. Like it just looks
Yeah.
different. But I mean, I guess you know, it's inevitably has to be.
Obviously.
And in a way, it's kind of nice that like what we had was also different to that too.
So when you were so young and you, did the schooling, like we said,
Yeah.
and you missed so much of actual school, did you ever go back to school?
Yeah, I did. When I wasn't filming, like, and there
Few
were
weeks.
days of chunks, so like a couple of days.
How
I would
was
go
it when
back
you
to
would go
school.
back?
It was fun. I mean, I went to a pretty small secondary school, so I feel like that kind of helped. It wasn't this like big, you know, like you knew people intimately, and also because I didn't have to relocate my life, like I could
did.
still see school friends on the
Oh,
weekend or whatever,
yeah.
so I wasn't too removed to the point that they were like, who are you,
That
kind
was
of thing.
me.
But I think it went through ebbs and flows. I think there were some moments where I felt really attached to my school friends and really
Yeah.
still like I was at school, and then other moments where I just felt really distant from them because I would be more felt like there would be bigger chunks of filming,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
you'd
yeah.
come back and people had changed or like friend groups had changed, you know.
It's
So I think
interesting
there
that
were
you said
hard
that.
and easy moments.
Yeah, it was interesting that because you were still in London when we filmed, because we filmed, you know, in London. But for me, where I relocated my whole life, I do feel I missed a chunk of my childhood.
Yeah, for sure. And like, are you gonna go all the way up on the train to go home? Like, when are you gonna do?
Yeah,
you
but
know?
I missed like my prom and my this, that, whatever, like big, like my freshest week for uni and blah blah blah. But like, but then I say, on the other hand, I went to Hogwarts and I had a
you gained a
U-Ball
lot
and I
of-
gained a
yeah.
lot of experience. Like, would I rather have gone to school and gone to that crappy prom in the, you know, the local hotel, or would I rather been?
Yeah.
Do you know? So it's like.
But I think any child,
swings and
any
roundabouts.
like small things are big for you in that moment.
Oh, it was massive for me.
Yeah.
I remember when everyone was back home, like getting ready for prom and doing this and that, and I was like, well,
yeah, I remembered like school trips or school camps that I missed, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna have that.
Yeah. When you got the role, by the way, were you were so young, were you excited, or did you have no idea?
I was excited. I was also like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? Because I was like never acted or anything. I was like, what is a set? What does film?
True.
And even on my first day, I literally was like, no idea.
I know.
Like, I don't even think I was acting. I think I was just purely
you just
like,
stood there.
what is going on? Like, so wild to think like how much was learned from like that first day to 10 years
Would you,
later.
what if Elio turned around and was like, Mum, I want to be an actor?
I know, I'm like, hopefully we'll see.
Really?
He doesn't. No, I'm joking.
At the age of 9 or 8?
I don't. I feel like the beauty of when I auditioned for that is I didn't desperately want it,
You
and
didn't
that
know.
is like good because I didn't even know what acting was. I wasn't exposed to it. Didn't even think that was something that was like could be possible for me. So I think that slightly less like attachment to it and less meant that if I didn't get that role, it really wouldn't have affected my life, you know? And so I think whilst you also want a child who, if they want that, you really do want them to be passionate for the acting, not just the idea of being in a film.
Being
so I
famous.
think to me it would be differentiate, like making sure that he really wanted to do it for the right reasons and making sure he really understood what that meant.
Does he know right now that Mummy was in a film? Has he ever seen Harry Potter? Does he know about it?
Toys and merchandise of stuff, like
of
randomly.
you?
And he'll just be like, "Oh, Mama."
How
and I'm
cool
like,
is
how
that?
did you know that? But okay.
Would you not think, like, from the eyes of him, imagine, like, I don't have anything near as much as like merch that you have. I literally have one Funko Pop, a Lego, and that's it. But even my daughters, when they see it, they're like, Mom, and I think that's the coolest thing for them.
Have they watched the films yet?
Kyra's at the age where she's just watched the bits that I'm in. I don't think she's got the mental capacity, the concentration to sit through it this entire. And I wouldn't right now anyway for her. She knows that Mummy's in Harry Potter because people have said it to her.
Yeah, for sure.
Where she goes to school now, and like I went in for World Book Day. I spoke to the students and she was a bit like, why is my mum here? That's so embarrassing.
Go home.
Yeah, she literally was like, this is so embarrassing. And I'm like, do you know your mum, you know,
so they want to listen
to me. And she's like, why? Like, to me, I'm their mum, you know?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But for Elio to see like merch with his mum on it, obviously he's super young right now, but that's so cool for them.
Yeah, well, he's stuff like, he'll be like, this has happened like only once or twice. Obviously, people like ask to take a photo or whatever. And like sometimes he doesn't understand why like he's not in the photo too. And I'm like, you're not in the photo. And
he's like push my kids out the way.
And he's like smiling and obviously not cropping him into the picture, but he's like genuinely thinks like, oh, we're all taking a picture.
I'm gonna take it.
You're with kids, especially who are young and they don't like comprehend it. Or maybe it's harder when they begin to comprehend it more. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But you are, and there can be moments where you're just like really having just like an intimate family moment where you're kind of like, oh, actually, I don't really want to take a picture right now.
Have you said no? What's the best?
I have said it.
You have to teach me how to say, because I feel like I have got no boundaries and I just
most of the time I say yes, like honestly, 98% of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But there are some moments where like, especially if the person isn't approaching it in like a nice, respectful way, then I'm like, I don't owe you.
True, yeah.
And I am literally with my child, especially if I'm on my own, you know? And I just think sometimes, and most of the time, if they're nice, they completely understand it.
But I feel like, have you got this radar now where you can kind of...
Oh, yeah, you know.
We have this thing, like this radar.
My family have a name for it. They call it Potter Spotters.
Stop!
Yes, they're like, oh, Potter Spotter.
I love that!
And then I was like, taught Andrew it, and I was like, Potter. Now he has a radar for it. I bet you Nabil has a radar.
Yeah, Nabil does have a radar for it.
You have a radar.
I noticed it way more than him because he's just blasé in life anyway. Like someone could literally collapse in front of him and he'd be like, "Oh, is someone dropped?" I was like, but like,
But
yeah,
you can
Potter's
literally
fine.
like feel it.
I'm gonna use it. You can feel the eyes, you can feel the tension, and he's like, "No, they're not." Like he thinks I'm being like really big headed, and he's like,
So,
"They don't know who you
You're
want."
like,
I grant 5 seconds later, they're like, "Hi," and I'm like,
told
I
you.
look at him and I'm like, "Told you," and he's like, "Oh, how do you know?" And I'm like, I genuinely can tell. Potter spotter, that is incredible. I'm gonna use that. Oh my god, Gary and Sheep, trust them to come up with that. Oh my god, yeah. But it is hard when you've got the kids around and you're like, they don't even
And also,
know.
he's like, Elio has been like, why did they come? What's
Will
their
you
name?
sit him down? Will he watch them? Do you want him to watch
I
them?
think if he wants to watch
I mean,
them.
he's got to watch Chamber of Secrets. That's his mum's big show.
I mean, I
love.
hope he gets into reading first. Then he
Okay,
likes
with the
reading,
books.
reads the books, and then we watch the films.
Oh, yeah,
I'm going to be
let's
that
do it that
annoying
way.
parent who's like, you've got to read.
No, I'm the
each
same.
book.
I'm the same. Like, I wouldn't have it the other way anyway, because
Yeah.
I think, especially now, like, books are so important. And to
For
read,
sure.
the Harry Potter books are like in our blood now. Like, you
Yeah.
have to read them before you watch the films. Like, they miss out so many stuff from the films anyway. So, do you think you're going to watch the new Harry Potter?
I watched the trailer for it the other day because
And?
I was like, I had to watch it,
And
it was such a bizarre experience.
Isn't it
watching
so
it? I was like, this is so
strange?
out of body because like some parts of it feel just the same, and then other parts obviously feel like incredibly, incredibly different. So I feel like I'm just curious, like everyone is, like to watch it. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna watch it. I mean, because I'm a fan of the story. So
yeah, exactly. You're a fan of storytelling and story. I am gonna watch it, but I still have like my heart sinks with it. There's something about it's like seeing your favorite child like do something else, so like choose another mum or something. It's like literally like I need to let go, Bon. How do I let go?
Other people can take on these roles.
How do I let go?
Yeah,
I remember when Ginny Weasley got cast and I like sent you the link. I was like, look, it's Ginny Weasley.
I know.
But like, hasn't she stepped down?
I know. I don't know why. I mean, it must be something.
Have you been in contact with them?
No, I never was given. Like, I mean, I didn't have the opportunity, and I wouldn't. I feel like step over that to. Like, I feel like they're already going through so much. I would like if it was welcomed and asked for, I would. But I feel like there's no point sort of pushing yourself into.
It's like when I filmed that baking thing. They were filming for the new Harry Potter, and someone came up to me and said, "Do you want to go and see them and see the sets?"
Oh wow!
But I said no.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have been a bit like,
And like when I told Nabil, he was like, "Why did you say no?" I said, "You don't understand." I said, "There's something in me that just wouldn't." I don't know.
Yeah,
and like,
I know. It's also just like
I can't explain.
Yeah.
I know that you'll get it. Telling you, but I'm just like to go back and see the sets again. And I don't know. I just felt like this thing of like, no, I can't. So after Potter, you dabbled in a bit of acting, directing, but now you are an environmental queen.
Thanks.
You are like you are protecting our planet. You are representing all of us. So Go Gently.
Yeah.
Was that your first book?
Yeah.
How and why and what steered you through that avenue?
Yeah, I guess before I decided to write the book, I'd been like doing a lot of sort of changes in my own life of trying to be a bit more connected to sort of the things I buy, the way I use things, the way I cook. I guess just seeing the reality of the news stories of like, where our climate was heading, where our future's heading, and like how and what we're doing as human beings that's making that kind of happen. And obviously with that, there's the individual level of things, and then there's the serious large-scale change, which can only be really put into effect through corporations and governments and policy and everything. So a lot of learning, I think, took place of just like, first like the overwhelm of like the future, like what's my little tiny self gonna do, and then being empowered by the more people I met who really had been advocating for these issues for a long time, the more I was like, oh, there are solutions here. We can encourage our governments and big corporations to make changes, and we can also make changes in our own day-to-day life to feel a little bit more a part of something bigger and be empowered again, when I feel like so much of the time we're told that like corporations and governments are like don't care about you. So a lot of that work was just stuff I was doing in my own day-to-day life, I guess. And then I sort of started to think, oh, maybe this would be cool to put into a book.
Because you
and
learned so much from
yeah,
it.
just learned so much about, and I was just excited by all the little things you could do. I've always been a very like practical person. And I loved like the idea of tangible things I could genuinely
That's the thing. I think a lot of people
life.
complicate it, don't they? And complicate things to do to help.
Or believe that they have to do it all at once. And I think that's why so many people don't do anything because of fear of getting it wrong.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, I can't do one thing, but then still do that.
Yeah.
Like that's a contradiction.
I feel like that.
And I'm like, no, it's not a contradiction. Like it's better you do that one tiny thing than nothing at all.
What do you think the biggest misconception is then about sustainable living?
I guess that you have to get more new things to be sustainable. Like that's again a marketing thing.
If anything, you probably don't have to get.
Yeah,
anything.
Exactly. You actually, or the other alternative that a lot of people feel like you got to do without stuff. Like in the sense that, oh, you can't have that, you can't eat that, you shouldn't do that. And I don't think so. There shouldn't be this kind of like minimal. It's not entirely minimalizing and pulling back. I think you can also see it in an abundant way because you can be like, okay, this type of food is really good, or like if I eat seasonally and locally, that is really good. So it's not about like not having certain things. I think it's just being about more connected to the system they came from in the same way as clothes. It's not about not loving fashion and not being into clothes. It's just like shifting, oh, wait a minute, do I need that? Or do I have something like that? Or could I buy it secondhand? Or, oh, this brand's like made something out of this fabric. Like that's maybe a bit better. Like I think it's just tiny little shifts. And most of it's just always about like thinking for a second,
your mind
before you buy it, before you do it, before you whatever.
That's where I find really hard. Like you've taught me so much by all your little videos and like your Instagram and everything like that, your book. I've learned so much from you, but where I was living such a busy life in a city and like go, I actually wasn't thinking about certain things. So it's taken someone like you to put it out there in a more easy way, a simple way for people like me to actually understand how to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think also there's no one thing to do. Like people are like, what's one thing I can do? I was like, I'm afraid it's not that simple and it's not that boring because I think if I told you one thing to do, you might not be interested.
So tell me one thing to do. Give me like a simple thing that someone can do in a week. Like,
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give one thing because I feel like it's too prescriptive. I would say like
simple change,
something you might be interested in, right?
Okay, yeah.
So say you love beauty or say you love fashion or whatever it could be.
Yeah.
Like just focus on that thing that you really love and start looking at the ingredients and the packaging of those things.
Right, okay.
Because you're much more likely, I think, to make change in something that you are passionate about. So like for me, I had always loved cooking. So I really just looked at like the food I was buying, the food, like how it was packaged, and literally just started with like my kitchen rather than like, I'm going to overhaul my whole life and throw everything away. Like that's not good either.
With 2 kids and like running around, this
change
we look for ease
for sure.
and whatever's ready there, good to go. And that's where I find it hard to kind of put things into place to do that.
For sure.
But
and also you can have the best
and...
intention and then your child doesn't want to eat that or they don't like it or they
hello.
You know what I mean? So
that's
it's
how
like
it is.
The intention can be there but doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be adopted by them.
Has any of that changed after having kids? Like your mindset before kids and now after?
Yeah, I mean, I think a very strong message in my book was this idea, like hence the title, was this idea of going gently on yourself, right?
Okay.
Because if you beat yourself up about it, you're just gonna get nowhere.
Yeah.
And so this kind of idea of being gentle on the planet, gentle on yourself is kind of a similar like parenting thing when you're like, okay, I can't choose every battle. Like there's only so many hills I can die on.
You don't even know this. When you came over to my house, I was like, oh my God, I've got plastic toys. Like what's one gonna think? I was literally like looking around the house like, Bonnie's coming over, I've got a plastic toy. But Nabil was like, what do you mean? I was like, get rid of that plastic toy, hide it in the garage. I was like, excuse the plastic toy. You're like, it's fine, I have plastic toys. I was like, oh God. I felt that pressure of like, you're this advocate.
But again, that's the thing. It's like not what I hope.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm literally like, yeah, whatever. The kids are kids. Like I had this like aesthetic dream pre-kids that I'm gonna have all these wooden, neutral toys. Everything's gonna be organized. It's gonna be all like, you know. Now it's like red, green, literally whatever they want. Just just put it in that box. It's fine. But then from Go Gently, you've now moved on to Hello Earthling.
Yes.
I just love everything about it and what it stands for, especially having kids now. And so, yeah, tell me how you went on to that.
Yeah, so I was doing Go Gently, and then obviously became a mum, and
Yeah.
then I was like, oh wow, there's this whole other part of life being a
Mm,
parent,
mm.
and being more realistic with like what you have the
Yeah.
capacity to do.
Welcome.
And then I guess it was always clear to me that I didn't want to start like, whilst it has parenting in it, what I really wanted to do was start a platform that really focused on children, and particularly young children, like kind of, 3 to 6 year olds maybe. And I think from all the advocacy work I'd done, I think the biggest lesson, even just being around adults, was like, oh, we've just fallen out of love with the planet, basically.
Oh,
we've
yeah.
lost our sense that we are
Yeah.
from here, we should be here, we deserve to be here, we're
Yeah.
special, and we're just like any other animal. So, but children, I think, inherently are born and believe that. Like, children will talk to, a little ladybug on the table. They'll
Well, my
like
daughter,
sing songs about spiders.
Yeah, well, my 1-year-old's like, oh, spider cute.
Yeah.
And I'm like freaking out behind, but it's so important for me not to put that on her.
Totally.
But she's literally like, cute spider. And I'm like, yeah, cute.
yeah.
Just cuddle to the spider. And I'm like, yeah,
like,
no
you
cuddle. Yeah, you can. But yeah, I
But
get
essentially this idea that they're inherently
The
born into this
innocence,
world,
yeah.
belonging to it, having a sense of play with it, and like, how can we as parents keep that alive
Mm-hmm.
and not project our own stuff onto them, and keep that sense of sort of play and wonder about it, and then inherently you're going to grow up in a more like respectful relationship.
But then what
to
do you
it.
think like children love about nature that adults forget? Because
I think that
I'm
it's
interested in that.
alive, and that it's just like full of stories and
Have
like,
you ever
things
heard?
that we can learn.
Yeah, have you
and-
ever heard anything that a child said to you that's really stuck with you?
Well,
through
yeah, I
doing
mean,
the
so on
podcast?
my podcast that I
Yeah.
made for children,
Mm.
I mean, I interview, including your
Yeah, my
daughter.
daughter Kyra's on it. So if you want to go listen to the
Hello
podcast,
Earthling podcast.
Hello Earthling
So I
podcast.
interviewed kids age 4 to 10,
Mm.
and every episode is a different theme, be that water or bugs or whatever it could be.
Mm.
And it was just amazing. Like, you'd be recording and you'd just be like, I'd have to stop myself and just be like, oh, like making all these sound
It's
effects.
the innocent answers.
It's just, but
pure,
but also like also
genius.
very clever.
Yeah.
Like, some things that were like
Like
slightly
what? Tell
inaccurate, but
me.
it was fine. Then other things were like, wow, you know a lot about those things. You know, when kids get like into one thing.
Oh yeah,
as
tell
you
me
know,
about it. Yeah.
And you just be like, I'd be like, wow, I'm really learning here. You know,
Have they changed your perspective on a lot of things as well? I'm
I
guessing
think so.
interviewing
I
these
also
kids.
yeah, for sure. Also, just amazing seeing the breadth of what growth and age does from that 4 to 10 is obviously
Yeah.
like massive.
Mm.
And I think just really confirmed to me, the recording of it, that they do truly love being outside. They feel playful, they feel confident, they feel like there's just this whole space to belong and be.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you hope that the children learn from our generation though? Like growing up, what do you think?
What
do
do
you hope,
children learn from our generation?
What
as
do
the
you hope that
parents,
they
kind of thing?
inherit from our generation growing up, like about the planet and stuff
Oh,
like what?
I mean, I would say for us, again, like, right, we were in that last era of like not technology, right? Like that we are today.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately.
I also feel there's like certain, like that kind of trend of like giving my child a 90s childhood or, different ideas. And I do think when I think back to what childhood I had that was so stripped back and simple, it wasn't grabbing my attention with TV shows or new toys all the time. Like, it was creative.
I thought the same.
You worked with what you had, you played outside, you know, as you got older, your parents weren't constantly, where are you, like knowing exactly everything about you. So I think there's also parts of our childhood that we can instill in theirs, which is just a trust, I think, that maybe we had before technology.
Yeah.
And also just simplicity.
How do you think parents nowadays can encourage a connection with nature without adding the pressure? Like,
yeah, I think there can be
so
this
much pressure.
Totally, yeah. And there's this idea, oh my gosh, do I now need to like go off deep into a forest or go to the beach? I mean, like, no, we don't have access to do that all the time. Honestly, I think the best thing is to like truly realize that you are nature, your child is nature. And like in moments where you don't have those things to connect to, you can literally have conversations with your child about like our body and like, how is like the fingerprints that we have similar to the rings of a tree, or how is like our hair similar to like another animal's
every day's
hair.
school day.
Just like, but just kind of,
Yeah.
I just think in the language
So
we
easy,
use can be really powerful too.
Yes.
And because you feel that anyway with parenting, where you're
yeah.
like, wow, everything I say, they are picking up on.
Everything.
So like you notice with the spider, with your daughter being like, you don't want to be like, oh my God, a spider, like run away from a spider. You catch yourself and you're like, you want them to be curious and to inherently first love the spider before hating the spider.
Yeah.
So things like that. And that's why with my Hello Earthling, I had the podcast that I started, because again, I was like, could I bring these stories into children's homes because they could be listening to the podcast at home. And then I also started this thing called Earthling Kids Club.
So, I wanted to say about this because that is incredible. I've now become a part of the Earthling Kids Club and I get these activity sheets for the kids. And you did a video recently, which I loved. Like you gave Elio an activity sheet, was it? And then you could see how much work that you got done around the house. So I'm like, right, I need to print that out ASAP to see what the hell I can do. But how do you get them to engage? Because honestly, I don't know whether it's just my child, but I will set up so much for her in the day. And I just feel like she's so, I've said this before, kids don't know how to be bored. Like they don't know how to not be doing something.
Which I feel like we grew up very much
bored,
more in the boredom
like,
childhood era.
Our parents didn't give us half of what we give our kids now.
No
and
way.
I think school obviously adheres to that because they've got like so many things to do at school. So when they're at home and I've set up an activity sheet and I've got it all ready, all the paints are there. She's literally done it once. She's like, right now, what's next? It's a constant thing of what's next. Like, how do you avoid that? Not avoid that, but how do I, like, what do I do? Because once one activity sheet's done, I'm like, come on, like take your time, color in slower, love.
Do another one.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's encouraging it to like, I don't know, you could print it a few times and ask them to like do it differently, or like, you know, maybe rather than each week do like all 4 of them on one day in like the weekly
and also
ones.
living in England where the weather isn't, today we're going through a heat wave, like when the weather's really bad and we can't, I am guilty of like, oh, if it's raining I don't go out, or if it's snowing I don't go out. Like it is easier to take the kids out for me as a parent, but to stay indoors, it's so hard.
Oh my
gosh,
on
your kids club, like, you've got quite a lot of,
I mean, it's that energy that feels so intense when you're inside, and
you
then
got
you
2
go
of
outside,
them
you're like,
in there.
Okay, we all needed to go outside.
Yeah.
I guess, we'll do certain things. Like we have this little box of like our nature box where we've like collected different things that we have inside, just like you'd have a toy box inside. So like, oh, we could pull out the pine cones and the feathers or whatever we found and like incorporate that, or like making stuff. Like you know, for like we were the generation that grew up doing like things on Blue Peter with your fairy liquid washing up bottle. You know what I mean? So just thinking of those more resourceful craft kind of things. And I think in moments where they are like, oh, I'm bored, you're like, you almost reply being like, that's cool, that's good. Oh. Like rather than, oh no, let's find something for you to do.
No, she won't
it's more just been like, well, that's like a sign that like, well, this is an opportunity to like use our imagination and do certain things.
Well, days where we are at home, she's like, so what are we going to do? And I'm like, nothing.
But again, like that stems from us probably setting all the elaborate stuff
well, I said this about birthday parties, Bon. I said we have actually brainwashed our kids to think that these elaborate birthday parties are the norm,
which
they're not,
and they
like,
don't need to be.
No, like I went to a birthday party last week, one of Kyra's friends, and it was in her house. She had like just a select few like friends of hers, bunting, just like, you know, sandwiches, and literally the kids actually don't care what they have.
Not care.
They were in the garden running around. They were in the garden running around. They had like a cake made, fair enough, but like they don't care. And we have set this standard that birthday parties have to be all of this, like, you know, thousands of pounds, hundreds of pounds like spent, when actually they don't care as long as they're with their friends.
No, truly.
And when I went to that birthday party, I was literally like, I put it on my Instagram because I was like, what have we become? I literally was like, all of this stuff, like I'm ruining, not ruining because like she doesn't know, but like, you
it's
know,
also
the
for you, like
simplicity
noticing moments like, oh, did I complicate this myself?
Yes.
Like, because you realize in that moment, they're not asking for it. The child is not asking for all those things.
No, well, I mean, Kyra does ask for like, can I
sure,
have this?
But like, then you're like, okay, well, that could stem from
what happened to the days of like
getting it, you know?
A simple party. Like, fair enough, I'm not gonna have 30 kids in my house, like, because I did that on her second, and I was like, hell no, never again. But like, did you ever have the McDonald's birthday parties where you just go there and you'd be like colouring in, and that's it?
That'd be it.
Like just colouring in sheets for her parties, and like just there's the dance, you know, the garden's open, like go for it, play, like. Yeah, I think the simple life, I miss that.
Yeah, and we just have to catch ourselves, I think, as parents, when we actually give ourselves more of a job than we needed to, or like realizing what actually matters, in the same way as memories mattering more than stuff we can buy, like memories with your child.
That's why I go away on holiday so
and like
much.
that's all it is really. And like, and they can be in the most mundane moments as well as the special holiday moments, you know.
If you could have like a child finish school, what do you hope for them to learn through school and like growing up when they come out the other end? Like, what do you wish for a child to have learnt by the time they finish school?
Yeah, I guess just like social skills more than like academic skills in a way. Like I just hope that they grow up feeling like they're a part of their classroom, that they
and
belong,
also about nature as well, about the world and stuff.
Which I think connects to that belonging.
Totally.
Because like if you belong to a community as much as you do to just your family, and you feel that more village feeling, then I think that helps you to slowly pull out to the larger thing. Because if you only have your family unit and then the world, that's a big gap for children to comprehend. Yeah. So I think if you can, my goal is that like a school or your town or whatever become this like slightly larger version of the family unit. Yeah. And you realize that we can all, like, how much more fun it is to hang out with other parents and just be in a chaos together for the day. And you get to like chat and your parents, and it's like way more easy. Yeah. So just not feeling like just them never feeling lonely, I think. Really just feeling like part of something bigger. Yeah.
And how do people join the kids club? The Hello Earthling Kids Club.
So we do the kids club all through Substack. So it's just Hello Earthling on Substack. And yeah, it's predominantly age, I would say like 3 to 5 maybe. And each week you get a different sheet that you just print out at home. And the idea that it was kind of analog feeling, nothing too digital.
Yeah. Kyra actually had the merch on yesterday. She had the cap on. Cute. She was out in the sun. It's so cute. Can you do adult merch for it?
I know, I need to.
And there's something that's out of stock as well that I want as well, so I need to have a word with you. Right, we've got a quick fire round now. Okay. I always finish with a little quick fire round, just simple basic questions.
No pressure.
Don't think about it, just say it. Okay. Tea or coffee?
Oh.
Why are you thinking about it?
Sorry, it's quick fire. Coffee.
Really?
I know. What's become of me?
Oh God, I never thought.
Depends if you're just talking black tea or you also incorporate.
Oh, we're not going through all the teas.
If you include herbal teas, I would probably say tea.
Okay, fine.
Because there's more variety.
I'll let you off. Okay, fine. Favorite comfort food?
Oh, honestly, like toast or like a crumpet, hot crust bun.
A crumpet?
Yeah, honestly, you can't get.
Do you have crumpets in America?
No, I get my parents to bring them when they
Do you
visit
like pack up your luggage on the way home to get loads of crumpets?
Don't you worry, I'll be going to get all my.
Oh my God, crumpet! Oh my God, we love a crumpet in our house. To be honest, Kyra loves it. The most underrated Harry Potter character.
Underrated.
Yeah, underrated.
I honestly loved Hagrid. I don't know why. He was like one of my favorite characters.
Okay, Hagrid. Director or actor?
Director.
Your favorite place in nature?
Anywhere by the water, ocean, mainly the beach.
Your favorite place in the world?
My garden.
Your garden here in London or in
America? My garden day to day.
Day to day. One word to describe your younger self.
Probably like chaotic. Or
chaotic?
Something like that, I would say.
And one word to describe yourself now.
Chaotic.
You are not chaotic at all. That is the opposite of you.
It's just all behind here.
I said to Nabil yesterday, I said, she's the calm to my storm. Like where I would be like running off, you'd be like, Ashan, stop.
Yeah, like
you're like 3 years younger than me, or 2 years younger than me, but you are like my big sister. You'd be like, I'd go to you for advice and you'd be like, no.
Like, I don't think you should do that. Like, I get why you think that's a good idea, but I wouldn't.
No. Yeah. A book everyone should read.
Like adults?
Yeah. Children, adults, anyway, a book. Apart from Go Jenny.
That's not a quick fire question. That's
you got to think about that.
Yeah, my book.
Not self-promotion there.
Yeah, it just happens to be that I wrote a book.
Yeah, so. Apart from me, who would be like your dream dinner guest?
Apart from you?
Yeah, obviously.
Someone I know or don't know?
Don't know.
Oh,
dead or alive? I want to know.
I feel like because we've been talking so much about our teenage self, I think my like teenage self would love to sit down and have dinner with Beyonce. She was like my favorite when I was younger.
Beyonce.
I just like Destiny's
Child. It's not impossible, you know.
In fact, I would like to sit down with her in Destiny's Child times.
Oh, that times, yeah. I remember listening to the whole Destiny's Child album at your house once, by the way. You were a big DC fan.
Massive.
Something, apart from the baby, obviously, something that you're looking forward to this year. I want to know.
So I guess finally writing this book,
Oh,
which I probably
yes.
won't write
How are
this
you
year.
gonna? Where are you
I'll
gonna
write
find the
next
time
year.
to even write this?
I know. I just did so it's like I just did the publisher, like pitched to all the
Oh, my
publishers. So now I'm like
goodness.
doing that phase.
And boy
so
or
yeah, I'm
girl?
looking for that.
Boy, girl. I'm trying to catch you out. Boy, girl. I'm trying to catch you
I'd
out.
be lying if I didn't say girl, but I feel like I am going to be a boy mom
Oh,
forever.
do you? I'm getting boy vibes from
Yeah,
you. I am
see?
getting boy
Yeah.
vibes, but yeah, you don't know. You never know.
Never know.
Either way, a sibling for Elio
Exactly.
is great. So whatever. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you for also, can I just say to you, thank you for encouraging me to do this pod.
Yes.
Like, you were the first person I rang. Obviously, you have your podcast as well. Different dynamics, but you have your podcast. And the first person I rang was Bonnie to be like, look, shall I do it? Shall I not? I actually said to you, I'm not going to do it. Like, it's just not going to. But
I'm calling you to tell you I'm not doing it, but should I do it?
Yeah. Thank you for
I was like-
always encouraging me, no matter what, no matter where you live. You know how much I love you. You know I am your sister for life with your family. I am a Wright.
A Wright. Yeah, no, I'm so proud of you. We're here. Look, you did it. And it was we only spoke about it.
I mean, I'm doing it.
A month or so ago.
I might cancel it after next season.
We're on.
But yeah,
You're
I'm on.
up.
Yeah. And a massive thank you to everyone who's joined me, whether you're listening, whether you're watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I have. I've loved having my bestie Bonnie here. And make sure you guys have liked, subscribed, follow on all social platforms, on Apple Podcast, rate us on Spotify, and make sure you are subscribed onto YouTube. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys will join me next time, where you will hopefully come and stay for tea.